You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
Hello, once again, you nubs and nubbin. Oh, I got grumblies in my tummy, so I might have a... it's the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast, and we're going to do Piledriver Podcast talk with wrestling, because if you haven't caught on yet, it's kind of what we do here. Hello. Let's get into it. Poot the Bard once again joins us with his presence. Why is the motorcycle so loud? Beef the Legend is here again with all of his knowledge of the wrestling business, bringing it to the table. And me, I just flap my gums because I don't know shit, but I can talk because I'm Ransom the Madman. Suck it easy. Okay. Look, I know each of you have things that you want to talk about, but I want to say something. Ready? Here we go. I watch RK Bro wrestle, right? Are you with me so far? Okay,
yeah.
Good. And I don't know if it is excellent acting skills or if it's genuine excitement, but I catch myself watching Riddle in those matches, partly because of his talent and what he can do in the ring, but also partly because it looks like he is just in his glory. It looks like he's a kid watching wrestling from inside the ring. Like watching him watch Randy Orton give somebody an RKO and the look on his face, he looks legitimately excited to be there. And it's refreshing a little bit to see somebody get excited, like actually show that excitement of what they're doing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of, the wrestlers are very excited about what they do and are happy with it, but it just seems to overflow on Riddle. Like looking at the excitement on his face when Randy Orton catches somebody out of nowhere in an RKO. It just, his face looks like it's just full of joy. Like he's just so excited to be a part of it. And it gives me the warm and fuzzies watching his facial reactions in those matches.
I love the role that Randy Orton is kind of falling into with looking at his attitude and his presence now versus what it was back when he was younger. He's willing to play ball. He does the comedy thing well. He's he also does the serious threat thing really well. And being able, he is historically so good at being thrown with another wrestler and having it be not only believable, but entertaining.
This is a man who was shitting in bags 20 years ago. Now he is a mentor. I think you could go back and you could get blue chipper Randy Orton and you could be like, hey, man, you're going to be somebody's mentor one day. I think he'd tell you to piss off, but more colorfully. And then snort some coke off a hooker's tit or something. I think that's what.
Yes,
would be his
I call that a
response.
Tuesday.
But yeah, man. Slow burn. The slow burn. It was good. It was good. Riddle is awesome. Everything about him is amazing. And I do hope for his success, for sure. Speaking of success, you know who I hope doesn't succeed?
Who?
Oh, no, who?
Fucking Dave.
Yeah, get him, stupid
Allegedly fucking Dave.
That guy.
Let's go over those points. I finally finished adding them up. So, all right. Here are the standings after Backlash. Riddle me this. Do you know who's perfect right now after Backlash?
Pat Shannon.
No.
Beef the Legend.
Yes.
Damn it.
But also
Poot the Bard.
no.
What?
Not Tom.
Tiger Bomb Tom.
Damn it.
But
I'd almost rather have Dave win.
also Ransom the Madman.
I'm sorry, what?
What the fuck did I do wrong?
With 21 points, the three of the 4 pillars of the P3 sit ready to get back on the throne. Do you know?
What the fuck did I do?
Hold on. Would you calm down?
I feel like that's the title of Poot's documentary. Well, what the fuck did I do?
You're right.
Yeah. Do you know who sits 1 point under the 3 pillars of the P3? 3 of the 4 pillars. Pose the Bard is the 4th pillar at 20 points.
Yes.
It was that one point. It was that one point. I bet one.
It was that 1 point on Rollins.
Yep. I went weird with it.
Do you know who was not as good? All of the rest of you bastards.
Suck it easy, fuckheads.
Oh, no.
Now, I know that we have Double or Nothing yet to come.
Shit.
But I also know that I don't do badly on AEW pay-per-views.
Oh,
you know what
that bodes poorly for Ransom, but very good for Beef.
You know what that means? It means I'm taking my title back. It means I'm taking my title back, Dave.
Oh, no.
Rounding out the fan portion, the closest after us was relative newcomer Ryuk with 15 points.
Oh, no, not Ryuk.
My boy.
Oh, the rivalry.
Then comes Dave with 14 points.
Oh, champ.
Then Pat with 13, and then Amber with 12.
Stupid Shannons.
Oof.
Nerds.
Now I got a
Nerds.
I got a message from one mid-card maniac today. The bastard. Simply titled, Allegedly Dave Must Be Stopped.
Oh, the P3 boys are working on it there, Pat. Don't you worry.
Gentlemen.
Sounds like unless there's a major flub, one of us is taking it.
Gentlemen, I'm here for it. I'm here for inter-fan dueling. Dale, you know what? Do it on our socials. Take to Facebook.
Yeah.
Snipe each other on a Facebook page. I don't care.
No.
We won't ban you.
Vague book a little bit. Go for it.
Do what you will. Have at it.
This is good. This is good news. This is very good news.
This is all great news. So that's there. Those are our standings. As I mentioned, coming up at the end of the month, is Double or Nothing. That is merely 2 weeks away. I think. Whoops.
Yes.
I don't want to look. Yeah. It's the night before Memorial Day. Sunday the 30th. So yeah, next Sunday. It's a pretty good looking fucking card, if I do say so myself. Headlined by CM Punk versus the current champion, Hangman Page.
Ooh.
Also, Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's title.
Oh.
Jurassic Express defending against my boy Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee and Swerve. The Jericho Appreciation Society versus Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Mm-hmm. Hookhausen, the beloved. Yes.
Very good. Very wrestling.
The beloved fan-shipped tag team Hookhausen will debut against Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling.
Wow.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Tony Nese is in AEW. Like all things considered,
Dude, yeah.
Tony Nese beat Danhausen in his official debut in AEW in like 10 seconds.
Yep.
You also have Boot.
I was gonna say I don't hate that, but part of me goes like, that's very evil booking, but it could lead to very nice things.
I'm here for Hookhausen. You'll also have the women's and men's Owen Hart Cup tournament final, which apparently they're having championship belts made for.
Oh.
The women's bracket's still very murky. Britt Baker's in the semis. It's looking like it's probably going to be Ruby versus Britt Baker, but the men's side is way more intriguing. Already punched his ticket to the finals is Adam Cole, baby.
Nice.
His opponent is either Samoa Joe.
Oh.
Yes, please. Or
Oh.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
Unknown quantity.
I'm here for Adam Cole O'Reilly.
You can't go wrong here.
No.
No.
Absolutely. Whether it's Cole versus Samoa Joe or Cole versus O'Reilly.
Yeah,
man.
Oh, this
man.
man. Oh, I could already tell no matter what the outcome, that's going to be a tough fucking call.
Whether and it seems like it could easily be leading to Adam Cole and Britt Baker both winning the inaugural Owen Cup tournament, which I think would be really cool.
Ooh.
I think it'd be really cool.
Wow.
Oh, and I'm sorry, not listed here is also MJF versus Wardlow, which is going to be outstanding. Oh no, it's going to be fucking great.
I think it's just because I'm like, it's a tale as old as time. It's a story that's been told numerous times in wrestling. So like the archetype I'm tired of, but these two I'm not tired of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, I hear you. I wouldn't be so sure that Wardlow wins. That's all I'm going to say for now. Also, it's looking like it's going to be the Bucks and Red Dragon versus Sting, Darby, and the Hardys, which is cool.
Oh.
They could easily split that up. Well, I'm assuming Samoa Joe wins and O'Reilly loses because they very heavily set that up. Although they also Pillman Sting's ankle, so it could be a 3-on-3. The Bucks and Fish versus Darby and the Hardys.
Oh dang.
Yeah. So a lot of good things are looking up in Double or Nothing.
I don't think that there's a match on that card yet that I look at and go, it'll probably be good, but
It definitely needs more. It definitely needs more FTR. I'm hoping they get a chance to defend their AAA title or AAA or the Ring of Honor
more
titles.
zazz?
It does need more zazz.
Hey, it's more zazz up in here. Just put it on the train, the zazz train to Zazzville.
oh.
I still contend that FTR probably should have beaten the Jungle Express, Jurassic Express.
Who?
Not because there's anything wrong with the Jurassic Express, but I think that right now FTR is like hitting a gear hitherto unknown.
Yep.
Like this is like fucking Demolition in the 80s, man. Like they're hitting on all cylinders, and they're fucking hitting it. I ain't mad at the 3-way tag team title match. It's a good opportunity to get the belts off of them and still have them look strong. But yeah, man, like fucking Hangman versus Punk is where all the money is right now. I'm really cautiously optimistic that Punk may actually win that match.
So I wanted to ask that, and I know we're not doing picks right now, but I do need to get your guys' opinion pre-picks, and I know this. I'm not trying to influence picks in any form or fashion or try to get a one-up. It's just this is very interesting to me. Is there a legitimate? Because we've talked about how Adam Page's title run has been not poor, but
mediocre.
Maybe meh. Maybe borderline meh. Maybe
It bears a lot of resemblance to Drew McIntyre's run of 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess my question is do you what is your percentage at the current moment that you feel could Punk win and get that title? Or do you think it's a dusty finish where Punk wins, but he wins off of like a DQ or something. So technically he's the winner, but he's not the champion. Do you think it's too soon for Punk
No.
to have that title? No.
No, I think they're absolutely working on an accelerated timetable with CM Punk.
Probably for good reason too, because I mean, no offense to Punk, but he had
He's
all
no
that
spring
time.
chicken?
Well, he had all that time off, but how much tread is left on the tires?
Right.
Okay, all right.
And like, yeah, like we're all happy to see Punk and Danielson and Samoa Joe, but let's not forget they've been in the business for fucking almost 20 years. These guys were the ones who made Raw what it was. These guys inspired guys like Adam Cole and Keith Lee. So yeah, they're getting out. Yeah, I understand that Sting's a 60-year-old still fucking jumping off of shit. So like, anything's possible in this world of wrestling. But with Punk, I think the swell is there, and I think that he's a legitimate face of a company, just like Kenny Omega was, just like Jericho was. I think Moxley to an extent, but I think Moxley was too niche. And I love Hangman, I really do.
He needs more time. He needs more time.
Do you think they pulled the trigger on him too soon as champion?
No, quite the opposite. I think that they pulled it too late. And again, like, that's not his fault. I mean, it is, because he knocked up his old lady. But like, he couldn't have picked when that was going to happen. I think, and I've said this before, I think that the die was cast for All Out, that he was going to beat Omega, and like, he was hot, and the whole fucking thing was ready to fucking blow up like a frog on a hot plate. And it didn't. And because he was out with this kid, and he came back and he beat Omega at their the random Dynamite in the fall, or the winter, I forget when it was.
It felt very it felt very WWE.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, because the person who was really hot goes out for some reason, then they come back, they're the conquering hero and beat the big dumb big heel champion.
Right. Also, and I don't want to put too fine a point on this, but I mean, like, this summer, this is the summer of George, baby. Like, this is AEW summer. Like, you lead in with Double or Nothing back in Vegas, right? And then you have fucking Forbidden Door in June, which is or early July, whenever it is, which is just going to be amazing. And then you have fucking All Out, which was going to be in Chicago. Now they're talking about moving it because Forbidden Door is going to be in Chicago. Like, man, I have trouble seeing it, because especially if you're looking for big time matchups at Forbidden Door, if you look at champion versus champion, you have Kazuchika Okada as the IWGP champion. And then I've seen Hangman and Okada before, and I think Hangman's beat Okada before in the G1. So like, it's a good matchup, but I would much rather see CM Punk versus Kazuchika Okada, because it's something that I've never seen before, and I'm pretty sure I'll never have the opportunity to see again. And I, like, there are just way too many matchups. So yeah, I think they have to pull the trigger on Punk here. And yes, I am kind of spoiling my my pick for next week. I think they finally. I think that brash young boy CM Punk finally gets his turn on top.
What?
But
let's. Well, actually, Poop, you didn't get to talk about CM Punk winning. What you think? Go ahead.
I just think it would be okay, because we've had a while since there's been, like, and not trying to use these terms in a kind of cross or crass way, but having Punk, he's a legacy guy. He's an older guy. He's a veteran. The last time that we, and I know you could argue this, but stick with me. The last time we had someone kind of in that pantheon was Jericho. You know, and so I think that it would kind of give a little bit of a kick. There would be a little bit of a blowback. I'm sure there will be people online, keyboard warriors, being like, "CM Punk don't have the title. All these young guys, should give it to Jerk Flatley, who's on Dark." You know, like, I don't know. Like,
you're right. There will be.
You'll have that, but I think that it would do wonders for the belt, even if Punk had it for 4 to 6 months. I think it would. I think it would do well to have Punk on there, have his name on the books as a champion, because then the person who takes Punk down, that person's going to get a huge rub.
So that's actually a pretty good segue. So let's talk about who that could potentially be at All Out.
MJF,
Maxwell,
if he sticks
Jacob
around.
Friedman. So he's slated to face Wardlow at Double or Nothing. Wardlow has to go through like the labors of Jericho, whatever fucking MJF's calling it. But like, you know, he got whipped by the belt last night and he no-sold it. Like MJF whipped him like 7 or 8 times before he fucking sold one of them. And like somebody put like a side by side of him getting whipped versus Cody getting whipped by the belt, and it was beautiful. You know, and I get that Wardlow's a hometown hero. Although he's from Cleveland, let's not forget that he's from Cleveland, folks. But like I get the IWC roots, and I'm pulling for him. But man, does MJF need a win on pay-per-view in the worst way possible?
A big ass one.
This match, MJF versus Wardlow, would be the toughest one to call for me. One of the tougher ones, because honestly, they both need it. And I mean, timetable-wise, you're probably going to have more time with Wardlow. He's young. Well, no. Let me take that back. You're probably going to have more time with MJF because he's like 27.
Oh, no. He's 24.
So, you know, and Wardlow's in his 30s. I know that for sure. But here's the problem. MJF is continually bringing up the bidding war of 2024. He's 26, by the way. So he is continuing to like stoke the fire that he could potentially go to WWE in 2024.
I have a legit question.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive my stupidity if this comes off as a stupid question to you. It's very, very likely that it could, but I'm not plugged in, I don't think, as much as you. Is this legit, what MJF is doing with this bidding war thing, or is he trolling just to get people worked up and speculating? Or is this like a legit, you know, are these legit threats that Tony Khan should be paying attention to?
Feels kind of legit. I don't know. You know, it's, you know, and like him and TK, like they absolutely all could be working us. They're a very smart and savvy crew. So, but like, I think Meltzer and Chris Van Vliet, I'm not sure. Regardless, it's being reported that he was offered a contract by Tony, a big money contract, but Tony wanted to sign him on for a number of years, and he wanted big money for like a short-term contract.
Well, what he wanted, and this was, I saw Chris Van Vliet and the guys on Going in Raw, they said that what MJF wanted was for the rest of the duration of his current contract, he basically wanted a pay raise. Like, he wanted a raise. And I think, frankly, he deserves it, because when he signed his contract, you know, he was well known on the indies and he had a lot of buzz behind him, but he's not anywhere. He wasn't where he is now, where everybody in the wrestling world talks about him, and he's like the prototypical perfect heel. And, you know, so I don't think it's unreasonable for him to go to Tony Khan and go, Tony, alter my contract and give me more money.
Belch.
And Tony Khan, like Beef said, offered him a contract for 2020 renewal with more money, but he's like, no, I don't want to be locked down, you know. And I think that's MJF being savvy, and I think that's MJF kind of breaking the mold a little bit, because wrestlers generally don't get any kind of pay or change until the renegotiation of their contract. He like, and it's usually done in the last 90 days of their contract is when renegotiations generally happen. So like,
not always,
not always, but it's, you know, it's usually in the last, the twilight of their current contract, regardless. So what he's trying to do is he's like, listen, see the value, see the eyes, see the press that I'm getting, see what I'm bringing to you. I deserve a raise. And Tony Khan basically was like, no, we'll talk about that when you renegotiate your contract. And he he didn't immediately jump on it and say, okay, I'll do that, because who knows? In a year and a half, maybe WWE offers him exactly, maybe they give him a Cody Rhodes-esque deal. You know what I mean?
Let's not forget that him and Cody Rhodes are tight in real life.
Oh, very tight.
They're good friends. Yeah, man. And I think that the next year and a half has to play out is ultimately the answer. I think that we need to see what happens with Cody. And I think that the eyes of the wrestling world are going to be on this summer, both AEW and WWE. If Cody gets the belt from Roman, I think a lot more AEW talent goes, oh, okay. If Cody just ends up as another guy that Roman's beaten, I think that a lot of them go, okay, that's about what we figured.
Well, and now I think that, I don't know, I think I think that it's good that there's competition on both sides. You know, like, people in WWE are like, look at how much, you know, look at the land of opportunity that's out there. And people that are out in the indies or in AEW or Impact or wherever can go, hey, WWE wants me. You know what I mean? It's healthy competition, giving the people, the independent contractors, a lot more latitude and a lot more earning potential, you know, not only for a better life, but like for benefits and stuff like that. I think it's a very good thing. I think, though, if MJF left AEW, I think it would be a fucking huge blow to their credibility and to their ratings.
I see. I am in the same camp as Sasha as I am MJF. I think. Wait, no, strike that. Reverse it. I think MJF needs AEW more than AEW needs MJF. I think that MJF going to WWE absolutely neuters him as a character. Because you know that they're not that they're not going to let him say and get away with the kind of shit that AEW does. That's why he's such a great heel, because he pushes the envelope as absolutely far as he can. But also, he is a perfect heel right now because he goes out and he does these signings and these fan shows, and he's an absolute fucking dickhead the whole fucking time. He was presented. Somebody did a pen and pencil drawing of him She said it took her like 30 hours or whatever, and he immediately scribbled all over it. Like, he is a fucking prick out in the and I've heard that it's completely opposite, that he's actually like the sweetest dude in the world, but he just fucking lives his gimmick, and which is awesome. Fucking WWE over here killing kayfabe. He's over here trying to resuscitate it. But if he goes to WWE, they're gonna be like, oh no, nope. You go to a contract signing, you better smile and hug and take pictures, because boy, that's what we're paying you for. And that's gonna neuter who he is as a wrestler and as a character.
Yeah, I don't think WWE lets him get away. Yeah, because like even heels, when they're not in the ring or on TV performing, WWE expects them to go out and be ambassadors for their company and for their brands, and to smile, shake hands, take pictures, do all that stuff that MJF, he'll go to. But like you said, he lives his character at those things. And I don't know that WWF, I don't know that WWE lets him live that character. Maybe they will. Maybe he'll be like hold on.
Oh, sorry about that.
Maybe he'll be the new generation's version of The Undertaker, where he's always in character. Signings, airports, restaurants, wherever. Like, The Undertaker was always The Undertaker. He was never Mark Calloway. Now, granted, they're two wildly different characters, but still, The Undertaker lived that character, and they allowed him to do that. I don't know if they're going to see MJF as that big of an attraction to allow him to do that. That worries me. And yeah, maybe the grass is greener if people see what they do with Cody, but you have to wonder how much creative freedom, like on the microphone, on his Twitter account, that MJF has in AEW, and how different could that possibly be when he goes to the WWE? Because we know WWE loves their scripted promos. They love them. So are they going to be having MJF deliver these scripted promos where he's not permitted to potentially go into business for himself? As good as that may be on the AEW programming, Vince, he loves that control.
But I think he would relate to the character of MJF enough to let him have the latitude. The only thing you would say is just keep it PG-13.
Maybe.
I don't buy
he sees
it.
that value. You don't think so?
No, because I don't think Vince will give him that latitude, because MJF goes out and he calls the fans marks and things like that, and Vince would be like, nope, can't say that. Like, MJF relies on pissing off the smart marks. And I mean, like, the marks, the marks fucking hate him because he's a bad guy, and marks hate all the bad guys. But MJF is unique in that he has a lot of the smarts hating him because we're supposed to. And I, in WWE, he doesn't have that latitude. He'll have to treat everybody like he treats the marks. And I think the smarts will just be like, oh, he's just, he's just Roman Reigns at this point, minus, 100 pounds. So I absolutely think that if I don't know, man. If
you think he needs AEW, like you said, you think he needs AEW more than he needs WWE?
I do. I think he needs I think he needs AEW more than AEW needs him. Yep. But you know what we need, fellas?
That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
What do we need?
We need to get back on the winning ways.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I know that we're down a man, but it's time for Stump the Chumps.
Give
it. Dave has not called his shot yet, so we're gonna jump back to the Maniac previous question before we did Dave's. I'm so upset Dave got us in the fucking loophole. That son of a bitch. And yet again, fucking Ransom was right. Like, here we are all saying, man, should just fucking listen to Ransom. Anyway, all right. So here's the question from the Maniac. Wouldn't it be cool though if we lost this question and then the Maniac and Dave both came on the same show and they were just fucking dueling the whole fucking time? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
We don't have to say anything. It's just them going back and forth.
Yep.
They just heal up on each other, and we just sit back and enjoy it.
The P3 presents Fight Night.
Yes.
Of course, we know that Pat's probably not going to win tonight, so we all remember how great WCW was in 2000, said with much sarcasm. It was so great that the WCW Championship had to be vacated several times. How many times was it vacated that year? He says, I want one consensus answer, not 4 separate ones.
Oh, no, he knows what we do. This is in the WCW title in WWE?
2000. No. WCW.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what did I say? WCW. The WCW title in WCW.
Well, okay,
it had to be vacated several times.
There was that one episode where they did this shake-up and they went, okay, nobody's a champion anymore. Let's shake it up.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep. I think, and I don't remember when Russo held it, but I think Russo vacated it. And that was probably around that time-ish.
Oh, fucking Russo.
Because
I can't believe. Oh.
That was a War Games match, though, wasn't it? The Russo one? I don't. Oh, it all fucking bleeds together now.
Try not to remember that.
WCW didn't last long in 2000, did they? Did they have a full year?
Oh. When was...
In 2000? I thought it was it 2000 or 2001?
2001. It was right before WrestleMania 17.
All right.
Which would have been early 2001. So they probably then they would have had a full calendar year of pay-per-views.
Okay, so are we counting the title being stripped? Because wasn't the title stripped of people as well?
He wants vacated.
I mean,
where there was not a champion.
I think the stripped and vacated are the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, didn't Benoit hold it, and then because he left for the Fed, he vacated it?
No.
He held it, and it was vacated off of him at one point. I don't remember the reason why, but it was.
That was before 2000.
Are you sure?
That was in 2000.
Because he won it.
Or he was stripped.
He wanted it wanted it sold out, didn't he?
I don't remember, but I've been
watching a lot. By the way, I've been watching a lot of Wrestling with Regret, and boy, that guy is a fucking wealth of knowledge.
Here's what I'll tell you. Benoit was in WWF for WrestleMania 2000, which occurred in early April. He contended. It was him and Jericho. It was him and Angle. It was him and Jericho and Angle in a triple threat match for the European and Intercontinental titles. So I don't remember when exactly the Radicals showed up. But I want to say it was maybe early 2000, because wasn't Benoit showed up before the rest of the Radicals, didn't he?
No, I thought the Radicals, it was Benoit, Saturn, and Guerrero and Malenko were all sitting at ringside. I thought that's how they debuted.
No, Benoit was there prior, and then Malenko,
and he joined
Saturn.
the Radicals.
Yes, he did.
Right. So those three came in and he joined them. So he was there prior. I'm telling you, I know for a fucking fact that he wrestled at WrestleMania 2000 for those mid belts.
But now, listen, that is possible, but Benoit was there in early 2000, and there were at least
There
2
being
to
what?
4 there in WCW
Okay.
in early 2000. There were at least 2 to 4 title vacancies, vacations,
vacationcies.
Yeah, there were at least 2 to 4 title vacationcies in at least like January of 2000, because it was vacate title happiness in January.
Okay.
The first one, I am confident, the first one was Bret Hart because he fucking got hurt.
Right.
And then-
right.
So
okay.
they vacated the title off of Bret. And I think another one of the ones in January, I think is what Poot was saying, was I don't know. I don't remember the situation surrounding it, but it was vacated off of Benoit in January
Okay.
of 2000. So that's at least 2.
And then there was the mass vacancy of all the titles. So that's 3. And then you
That
mentioned
wasn't
Russo.
until-
You mentioned
that-
Russo.
Right. That would have been in fall. I think the mass vacancy was around early summer,
It might have
maybe
been.
midsummer. So wait. Okay. So 2000 was
Midsummer.
the year that that WCW got really fucky.
Oh, yes, it was. Yep.
Because that was whenever
Yes.
what Hogan refused to. Oh my God! So there was. Okay, so there was that pay-per-view where Hogan refused to do the job for Jarrett, and Jarrett laid down in the ring and said, "Just pin me, just pin me." Hogan got all pissed off, pinned him, and walked out.
Well,
And then Russo came out and said, "No, we're not doing this. We're gonna have Jarrett versus Booker T for the title." So would that count as a vacancy as well?
I don't
No, because
know.
they didn't take the belt off of Jarrett. They just redid the match.
They said
Okay.
that belt was not. Yeah, they're like the belt that Hogan held was not the real title, etc.
Okay. But that was still part of that year. Man,
Yeah, it was a-
2000
it was a
fucking wild year, because then they started doing all the weird fucking pay-per-views, fucking
Yep.
Greed, and that's when they changed
Sold
the logo.
Out.
Sold Out was around for a couple years prior, but like Greed,
Yeah, so that was like an NWO thing.
Revenge was another one that was that year.
All right, so stop. We're getting
Yeah,
into the
you're right.
weeds
You're right.
here.
You're right. You're
I'm
right.
saying
you're right.
four. I'm saying four.
Real
No, it's more than
more.
that. 'Cause Ransom's right.
So
There
real
was at
early
least-
January, Brett vacated it. That's
Right.
1. Benoit vacated it. That's 2.
Right.
There was a WCW, I think it was a Nitro or a Thunder, when it got vacated, I think, off of Sid Vicious because he pinned the wrong DOA member or whatever the fuck those guys were called.
Right.
The Harris brothers or whatever, and won the title, but then it was vacated because he pinned the wrong one because Twin Magic. Sons of
I
bitches.
thought that when Brett vacated it, Benoit and Sid fought each other at Sold Out. And Benoit got it, and then Benoit had it vacated off of him because he left for
He
the
did.
Fed.
Yeah, Benoit had it vacated. So that was 1 off of Brett, 2 off of Benoit.
And then Sid
I don't know
probably would have
where-
won it thereafter, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know like where things went from there, but Sid on a Nitro or a Thunder, one of those 2 weekly shows, that was a 3. Russo was in there at some point.
He was towards the end of the year.
Okay, so there was the Great Reboot.
So that's 3.
So that's
So that
4.
was 4.
That's 4. Okay, let's see.
So
There was a streak for a while where it went on without being vacated for like 1 or 2 months.
which is probably the Jarrett reign.
Maybe. Then I think at some point Russo was still in charge, and he stripped somebody after the Great Reboot. I can't remember exactly who, but I know there was another one of those like storyline things where like Jarrett didn't or Russo didn't like who the champion was, and there was some sort of backstage kerfuffle, and he stripped somebody. I can't remember honestly who that was, but I'm confident that that happened.
So that would be 6?
That would be 5.
Okay.
And then there was at least one more. Oh, and then that somebody said it already. where Russo won the fucking title, and then was like, no, bro, I'm not a wrestler. I'm going to vacate this title. So that's 6.
And that was War Games. I'm pretty sure he won that as part of the War Games match, which would have been Fall Brawl, which would have been close to the end of the year.
Yeah, and I don't think there were any more title vacancies after that. I think at least in 2000.
I just don't think
you're
it's
right.
that
I think
many.
it was.
I'll go with the consensus, but I don't think it's that many. I think there were a lot of strippings of the title that during that year.
It's
but I don't.
Same thing though.
Like, no, but that's what I asked. Does he want stripping of the title, or does he want vacating of the title?
Yes, because if they stripped the title off of somebody, that would have been a title vacancy because no one would have held the title.
But didn't WCW have a penchant for stripping the title from someone and just handing it to another person?
It was still vacant for a while. It
still would have been vacant because I don't think they stripped the title off of somebody and then handed it to a different person that very night. But even if they did, though, that still probably would have technically been a title vacancy because the title would have been vacated.
All right, that's fair.
I give it to somebody else.
Like I said, I will go with consensus, but I personally don't think it's that many.
No, I mean 6. I've learned this. Trust Ransom. I want to say last week, 2 weeks ago, Ransom said, I think San Martino had it twice. Like he said with his gut, I think something about San Martino having it twice or whatever. And we all should have fucking went with him, and we would have beat Dave. So I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to go with Ransom again this week, and I'm going to say 6.
6? All right, I'll go with 6. That's consensus.
He doesn't want who, right? He just wants how many, because I don't know who.
Exactly. How many times was it vacated that year?
Yeah, I'll say 6.
I was thinking of my buddy Ransom with this one. It seems like Vacant wanted to hold some record because the title was vacated 6 times in 2000.
Wow.
For Electra, they were vacated, and we got most of these. Bret Hart, Benoit, Sid twice, Ric Flair, and Vince Russo.
Okay, well then I was under the assumption. I'm glad that you thought that it's like, oh, okay, stripping the title and vacating the title are the same thing.
We got 4 out of the 6 people too. Actually, I mean, technically we got 5 out of 6 people, but we got 4 out of the 6 vacancies. So that's pretty good. But at the end of the day, you know what was not pretty good?
Oh no.
Oh, you know what? No, it was a great question. It was a great effort, but honestly, Maniac, you tried to do what Dave did. You tried. You failed.
Oh.
So this week, Pat, you lose. And you get nothing.
Ooh, the ASMR vibe.
Boy, I tell you. Look, on that note, before Poot hits the burrito, I'm going to bid you two gentlemen adieu. I do have to bounce off of here. So I will let you guys wrap it up with the burrito, and you guys can fight over who gets the stinger.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Bye.
Oh, no, bye.
All right, there he goes. Beef, should I wrap this all up in a tight little burrito?
Poot!
Burrito! All right. Thank you all very much for listening to the P3 podcast. I apologize, by the way, for Anchor being more fuckery. I'm working in the process of getting the audio side of the podcast back up and running. I'm going to look for other options. But in the meantime, let's thank our wonderful sponsors. He was not here tonight. We missed his presence. We love him very much. It is our very own Tiger Bomb Tom and his page, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook. That is Casual Gaming Dad. You can find him over on Twitch at Casual Gaming Dad and Casual Gaming Dad 84 on Twitch and Casual Gaming Dad on YouTube. Okay? Find him over there. Have a good time. Subscribe to him. Give him all the stars. Give him all the subscribes. Do it. He's awesome. We have a great time. Also, buy a lot of his merch from gouldgaming.com. Search on Casual Gaming Dad. You can get a lot of awesome Casual Gaming Dad merch, and you can get your very own P3 podcast t-shirt. Also want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with professional wrestling on the independent level in Pennsylvania. And we also want to thank our very own Ransom the Madman, who had to fly. Little boy, fly. He had to go away. But that's okay. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel, Frig Off Ransom. And, yeah, There you go, folks. It was a good one. These were 2 good episodes. I feel very good about them. For myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, baby, and Mr. Ransom the Madman, and Casual Gaming Dad himself, Tiger Bomb Tom, who was not here tonight, and of course, the soon-to-be reigning, soon-to-be defending, soon-to-be new Cruiserweight champion. Yeah, Dave, I fucking said it. Our wrestling encyclopedia, Mr. Beef, the legend. Say goodbye, Beef.
Goodbye, Beef.
Dad jokes. Good night, everyone. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
I got nothing. Damn it, Ransom.
Damn it, Ransom. You've disappointed him. You've disappointed